I'm going to try something new today with this video. This is all about acting behaviors on stage, acting conditions, and using your sense memory to act those different behaviors and conditions. And it's going to be a little bit different than my usual sorts of videos. It's going to be like a little choose your own adventure through behaviors and conditions, so you can choose the ones that you want to learn. So why don't you join me after the bump? Everybody, I'm Doug Fall, your augmented actor, helping you augment your acting career with tips, tactics, and tech. If you're new here, I do all sorts of acting related videos that will help you with your career, so please consider subscribing to my channel. Also, if you are an actor or otherwise in the performing arts anywhere in the world, please consider joining my Facebook group, Augmented Actor. You can see the address on the screen right now. If you've ever taken an acting class in college or even high school, you may have heard of Uta Hagen. She is an actress who turned into an acting teacher, and she's written a couple prolific acting books. One of them is called Respect for Acting, and the impetus, the idea for this series of videos came from Respect for Acting, and particularly chapter number 5 on sense memory. It covers behaviors and conditions. Now, what do I mean by behaviors and conditions? Well, behaviors are things like yawning, burping, falling asleep, dying, etc. Things that your character does that may or may not necessarily be the point of the scene, but just their behaviors that a character can exhibit. And then conditions are things like sickness, illness, fatigue, being cold, being hot. All of those things are conditions that the character has, but again, they may not be the most important part of the scene. Now, Uta Hagen suggests that actors use their sense memory to really examine the proper way to do these behaviors and conditions. And there's 3 little things that she likes to talk about when you're acting a behavior. One is that they are based on sense memory. So you need to study what it's really like to yawn, what it's really like to fall asleep, what it's really like to burp, and incorporate the physiological sensations that bring on that behavior or that condition. And when you can reproduce those on stage, you'll get to that point realistically and quickly. The second thing she talks about are that behaviors are rarely about the scene. A character may have a headache, but the scene isn't about the character having a headache. It might be mentioned or something like that. And the third thing about behaviors and conditions is that a character often tries to mask those behaviors and conditions. If a character is alone and they're yawning, they might give out a really big yawn, but if they are with other characters or maybe in a church or a school, they're going to try to mask that behavior. Oh, and Uta Hagen also says how important it is that you should never just indicate a burp or a yawn or dying or something like that. If it feels awkward and weird to you, it's because you're not investing enough research and study and sense memory into the experience of it. So you're not using the right substitutions or something along those lines, and I will talk more about that in each individual video. Another thing about behaviors that Uta Hagen suggests is that you never want to actually experience the thing that's painful to experience. If you actually, the actor, have a headache and it's in the front of your lobe, you want to concentrate your acting headache to the back of your neck. Or if you are playing drunk, you don't actually need to be drunk. You don't want to be drunk, otherwise you'll ruin the show. If you're falling asleep, you don't actually want to fall asleep. You just want to get close to that sensation of falling asleep. So you don't really want to experience the behavior, especially the really negative behaviors. You want to just mimic the way your body responds to those behaviors. So part of acting behaviors and conditions believably as an actor is knowing the reasons why you are exhibiting that behavior and knowing whether or not you are trying to mask that behavior as well. But we will examine more specifics about different behaviors and conditions as the videos progress. But right now, let's start your choose your own adventure. You're building a character and your character has to yawn. So let's teach your character how to yawn. So click on that video and teach your character how to yawn. Do it. Click on that video and your character can learn how to yawn. Just push it.